Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Friday. It's time for a special one-off review show. We don't normally do a review show on a Friday, but I've been reading this book non-stop since I got it a week ago, and I can't put it down. Ryland has stolen it from me, and between us, we absolutely love this book. This is one of the best books that we have ever read. This is absolutely amazing. Ryland can't be here on this review, but I wanted to do a full review show about the Nth Degree. Now, I will tell you, John Guastaferro is one of my favourite magicians. He's one of Ryland's favourite magicians. We both love John G, and I've been a big fan of his work for a long time, but this wasn't sent to me. I bought this with my own money. And, I want to give a big congratulations to John and Vanishing Ink. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a great review. But what would you expect from John G? I mean, you've got reviews from John Bannon, Larry Wilmore, David Regal, Stephen Minch, Jack Carpenter. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love in the foreword, the foreword was by John Bannon. And just get this as an opening line. So who's your favourite magician, says John Bannon. Tough question, and one I generally avoid answering, but all in, I would have to say this guy, John Guastaferro, and you're about to find out why. And you are. Nth Degree is fantastic. As it says at the back of the book, in 2010, 1 Degree, which was John's first book, took the world by storm. The book highlighted how small micro shifts can lead to extraordinary results, and it quickly became a bestseller in 4 different languages. The Nth Degree is a highly anticipated sequel, 14 years on. It expands on the philosophy and focuses on achieving the highest level possible in your magic. 26 card routines, 6 thought-provoking essays, and valuable lessons to help you elevate your magic and audience connection. Far more than a collection of tricks. It's amazing. And it really is. So what we have here, like I've been a big fan of John's ever since his L&L DVDs came out. Like his original L&L DVDs, Brainstormer. I watched those so many times, and then after that, Second Storm was just as good. I binged all of his ebooks. He produced a lot of ebooks back in the day, and then was a big fan of 1 Degree, and now the Nth Degree. I would say this is probably the best magic book I've ever read, and that's saying something. I read a lot of magic books, but it really is. It's card magic. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. It is card magic. But I mean, Ryland is loving reading this book, and he's not that into card magic. So that tells you everything that you need to know. But in the original book, 1 Degree, John talked about how you can make small changes to a routine, whether it be through a technical shift or a presentational change, something like that, that will literally allow you to take that routine to the next level. And he's expanding on that in the Nth Degree. What I really like is that he's broken down the various different chapters. He's got 3 or 4 tricks and an essay in each chapter. And the tricks and the essay kind of have something in common. And he talks about what that is. So, for example, the first chapter is an imagine that. The first 3 effects draw your audience in and spark imagination. You'll make invisible objects appear from nowhere, cause 4 cards to transform twice, and magically print a blank deck. I'm going to do a few performances of these different routines throughout the course of this review. I could perform all of them, and I probably will learn all of them, and you'll probably see more performances, but this would be a very long video. But I'm not going to perform this, but I do want to give a big shout out to the invisible opener. John has got an amazing way. I kind of explored similar kind of a thought process with a routine called Shades of Imagination. But this is the best handling of the invisible deck I've ever seen. And this is from somebody who has actually published many routines with the invisible deck. It's an invisible deck routine, but everything is just appearing, not just the deck, the elastic bands, the poker chips, the whole routine is absolutely amazing. Perception Plus is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's created an amnigram, I struggle to say that word, where one side says jacks and the other side says aces, and it's basically a packet trick where 4 blank cards print into jacks, because he puts a card down with jacks written on it. When he turns it round, they turn into aces. Just really clever routining. just really, really clever routining. Blank Slate is a expansion of a routine he put in 1 Degree called Truth in Advertising, which has really kind of expanded that as well. I don't want to talk about all the different routines. I'm gonna point out a few of them. The essays are great. I'm not going to talk too much about the essays either. Freestyle Aces, fantastic ace production. I'm just going through some of these. A lot of these I haven't learnt yet, and I will learn. But there's so many great routines. I love the essay on finding your purpose, which, to be honest, is more life advice. It's the sort of thing you'd see a motivational speaker talk about than a magician. He actually talks about the process he goes through to basically find his mission in life and make sure it happens, to actualize it. And I've seen motivational speakers that have tackled that subject before that haven't done as good a job as John. Chapter 3 is Eye Catchers, and I'm going to perform a routine from this called Stranger's Sandwich, which is a sandwich routine, which is really great. It's 2 phases with a kicker ending at the end. And the kicker ending is amazing, and he's got this wonderful way of making the card visually appear in between the jokers. Also, think about this. This is 1 stranger card in the deck, and you can achieve all of this. A lot of people carry a stranger card around with them to do something like Chicago Open or Red Hot Mama. I think this is even better than Chicago Open and Red Hot Mama. It is amazing. The visual on this is outstanding. Let's have a look at a performance of Stranger's Sandwich. I'm going to show you something. I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to break a couple of rules in Magic here. So first of all, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. That's the first rule. You shouldn't tell people ahead of time what you're going to do. Then I'm going to repeat the trick, which you should never repeat a trick. And then finally, I'm going to tell you how it works, which is a big no-no, okay? So I'm going to break basically every rule of Magic. And I'm going to start off by telling you, we're going to need a Sharpie marker, actually. While I explain to the audience, why don't you go and grab a Sharpie marker? There'll be one around somewhere. So Jack is going to go and find a Sharpie marker. While he does, I'm going to explain to every single person here what's going to happen, which is basically, I'm going to try and find a card that Jack is going to pick using the 2 jokers. So using 2 jokers, I'm going to find the card that Jack is going to pick. And I see him coming back. He's found a Sharpie marker. Honestly, you are amazing. Thank you so much, my friend. So that's the first rule. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the 2 jokers to find your card. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter whether I see the card or not. It's not that sort of trick, all right? So just say stop and tell me once. Stop. Cool. Beans. Amazing. So as you got the pen, you can use it. Can you take the lid off for me? And if you could just, 10 of spades. Can you just write your name on the 10 of spades? That'd be good. Big letters. That would be great. And I think it's time to recap. Oh, you've done it already. Good job. So your signed card. This card is unique to you. Yep. The 10 goes around about halfway down, and you can take that card. What was that? You can take that card and push it in yourself. And I want you to see somewhere in there is your card. I have no idea where. Okay. Right. So I told you I'm going to find the card using the 2 jokers, and I am. The 2 jokers are going to find your card. Joker number 1 and Joker number 2. And it's really simple. Watch. All I have to do is wave the jokers over the pack, wait a second, and when I do, 1 card appears in between the jokers. And the 1 card that appears right there is the 10 of spades with your name on it. Now, I told you that's exactly what I would do. I told you I would find your card using the 2 jokers. Now, that's the first thing. But I did say I'd repeat the trick. Do you remember? Yep. So I'm going to do it again. We're going to lose that card into the pack. First of all, can you do me a favor? Cut the deck any way you want to and just complete the cut. So the card gets lost into the pack yourself. Very good. And square up. Excellent. So now I've got to repeat the trick. It's a little bit harder because you cut the card in there yourself and you know what's going to happen. You know that I'm going to try and get that card to appear in between these 2 jokers. But watch, all I do is I reach and I throw and it's there. Can you see it? No. It's invisible, but if you look on the other side, there it is. You see it becomes visible when you turn it over. And I've repeated the trick. Just appears right there in between the 2 jokers. Wow. But I did tell you that I'd break one more rule and explain how it works. Would you like to know how it works?
You're going to get in trouble.
I don't care. You see, it works using magic.
The fuck?
And that, my friend, is for you. I know I'm going to be performing that routine for a very, very, very long time. Absolutely love it. This was one of my favourite sections, actually. There's a wonderful deck vanish with double vision. Bermuda is a really fun trick. Another routine in this section, I actually perform another one from this section that I started performing, and I've done this now a couple of times, great reaction, is GPS. Now this is, I'm going to point something out here. So the routine you're about to see is called GPS. And it's basically, it's kind of like a mystery card. And I know this would fool me when I saw it performed. If I hadn't just read this, I think if I'd seen this performed, it would have fooled the pants off me. It's very, very clever because the audience thinks one thing is going to happen and then something else happens. So they think that this is all about you finding out what their card is, and then there's a kicker ending that they just never see can happen. And I love that because normally with a mystery card plot, openly at the beginning you say, hey, this is mystery card, but not with this. You're taking them down the garden path that you know they're going to walk down, and then you pull the rug under their feet. It's really good. You're going to see a performance of it, but I also want to say, if anybody watching this has got my magic button project, I plan on doing this instead of with a compass card, a stranger compass card. I'm going to do this with a magic button card because it will work exactly the same. But you can say, hey, I'm going to put this magic button into the deck. You're going to decide where, and when you squeeze the deck and press the button, it's going to tell me what your card is. You can do, if you like the performance you're about to see now, GPS, anybody that's got Nth Degree and you've got my magic button project, try doing GPS with the magic button cards. It's killer. It's absolutely killer. And because the cards are printed on the back, it becomes even stronger, in my opinion. It's great. So have a look at that. Have a look at, and yeah, just it's killer. It's absolutely killer. If you use GPS is genius, but if you use the magic button cards with it, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I know I am. This is going to be insane. Let me show you a performance of GPS the way that John has written it up. Did you know that Bicycle, the company that make bicycle playing cards, the United States Playing Card Company, they have started innovating new features that are going to be built into future decks of cards, and I've got a prototype here. All bicycle decks in the next 2 years are going to have a built-in GPS. What? Yeah, they're going to have built-in GPS. It's amazing. You know, you can literally travel around the world with a deck of cards because you can have a built-in GPS in the deck. I mean, this is exciting stuff, don't you think? I mean, this is like next level is where we're going with this stuff now. And I know you think I'm kidding, and I'm not. I'm actually going to show you an example of how it works. Now, when you get a deck of cards, let's say using a blue deck, you also get a red card as well. And the red card, actually, that's the compass. That's basically the GPS. It's built into that card. And this is what makes everything work. And I'll show you. It'll help you find your way around the world, but it'll help you find playing cards. I mean, for magicians, this is like gold dust. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to have you pick a card. All right? And I'll do it like this. I'll run my thumb down the deck. As I do, you just say stop anytime you want to. You'll need the pen. Just say stop. Stop. Cool. I don't want to see the card. Can you see it right there? Yep. Great. Can you take the pen? I'll look away. Can you just write your name on there for me?
Very hard to do at this angle.
No, you're doing great.
Okay.
And if I show the camera, can the camera see the card? Yeah. That's great. And we'll cut the cards a little bit. Right. I have no idea where the card is. I don't want to know where it is because I don't need to find the card. The GPS is. Take the deck and hold it as if you're about to deal, and that's what I want you to do. Deal cards face down onto a pile on the table, and what I want you to do is stop anytime you want to. And wherever you stop, we're going to put the GPS card. Are you sure?
Yep.
Positive?
Yep.
We'll put that there. Put the rest of the cards on top, and square up if you can. That'd be great. Perfect. So you decided where that went, right?
Yep.
Did you feel influenced in any way?
No.
No. Here's what's interesting. That GPS card will always be able to tell me what the card is that you picked. Because you chose to put this, I mean, I think you put it right, you put it here, but you decided to put it in between these two cards. If you'd gone further, it would have gone further down, or if you'd gone further, it would have gone further up, but you chose to put it right there in between those two cards.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And what these two cards will tell me is they'll tell me what your card is. You see, and this is how the GPS card works. You put it in between these two cards. This card here will tell me what the value of your card is, and this card here will tell me what the suit of your card is. So because you put it in between a king of diamonds and a 5 of spades, that tells me that your card is a 5 of diamonds. And it works every single time. Am I right?
Yeah,
I don't need to find cards anymore. I don't have to do sleight of hand anymore because it'll work every single time. It's kind of weird. I've tested it out every single time. No matter where you put it in the deck, it's always going to be between the cards that will tell me what your card is. What's even more interesting is not only does it tell me what your card is by putting it in between the two cards that will give me that information, but the other thing it does is it tells me how you sign your name.
What?
Well, that's because this GPS card is your sign card.
What?
Okay, so that's killer. I mean, I'm sure you'll agree. I can't help talking about how good this book is, and I wanted to be really thorough about this. It's why we've done a video just specifically for this book. Chapter 4 is called Fourscore. It's routines with a 4 of a kind, and there's a routine here. I'm going to show you a performance of this as well called the Other Mates, which is a completely self-working hands-off trick. If you'd never picked up a pack of cards in your life and you didn't know anything about card magic, I could literally sit down and teach you this, and within 5 minutes you'd be able to do it, and you'll be able to do it. And it is a 4 of a kind production. Think about that for a minute. It's a 4 of a kind production with a mentally thought of card, and they're doing all of the work, and you don't have to do anything, and you don't have to touch the deck. And you can literally get into this on the fly in like a second, and I'm not kidding. The Other Mates is great. Anybody who's watched this channel for any length of time will know that I love self-working card tricks, and this is one of the best self-working card tricks I've ever seen. It's why I wanted to show you a performance of this. So this is a performance of the Other Mates. So I know that you play cards not for money, but you play for fun, don't you?
Yeah.
You play poker and you play backtrack. This is not really about gambling or anything like that, but it starts with you dealing a four-handed game of poker.
Okay.
So I want you to imagine that you're kind of in a room with 3 of your mates, and you know one of you says, "Shall we have a game of poker?" And you go, "Yeah, let's have a game of poker." And then this happens. So what I want you to do is take the cards, and I want you to deal a 4-handed game of poker. Now, while Jack's doing that, I want you guys to understand that everything that you see now, it's Jack's decision. Jack's going to make all of the choices, and I'm not going to influence him in any way. Or at least I'm not going to. I'm going to try not to influence him in any way. So put the rest of the cards in front of you. We're going to square up each one of these piles that you dealt. Okay. And as I say, you make all of the choices. So the next choice that you have to make, Jack, is you're going to pick one of those piles. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no wordplay. There's no ambiguity here. Whichever pile you pick, you're going to pick that pile up, but don't look at the cards in that pile. Which one would you like?
3.
That one there?
Yep.
Pick it up. And now I want you to give the cards a shuffle, so that nobody sees the cards. The only person who's going to see the cards right now is you. And when you're happy that they're in a mixed up order, let me know. And I'm not going to look, I'm going to look away. But when you shuffle them, I want you to spread the cards so you can see them and I can't. And think of one of those 5 cards. Make it a high card. Pick the highest card that's there. That'll help you focus on it. And remember that card.
Okay.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
What I want you to do now, don't show the camera, don't show me, but take that card out and either just sit on it so it's out the way. Very good. And then just pop the rest of the cards on top of the deck.
Okay.
And then you can pick the rest of the cards up, pick them up in any order, and put them on top of the deck as well. And then just take the cards and put them on the pad. Okay, so first thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and tell you the card that you're sitting on right now. And think about this for a minute. From a shuffle pack, you dealt out all of the cards. Once you dealt out all the cards, you picked a pile, you shuffled the pile, you looked at a card, you remember the card. My back was turned the entire time. There's no way I could possibly know that card. I went to say it over and over in your head. Not out loud, but in your head. If you say it out loud, that's not mind reading, that's just listening. But in your head, over and over again, you're going to say King of Spades, 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 King of Spades. Am I right?
You're all right.
But here's the interesting thing. I haven't even touched those cards. Pick the cards up if you're about to deal. We're going to deal 3 piles of cards, but we're going to spell out 3 words. The other mates, because in the deck of cards there's 4 cards in each suit. So the King of Spades, which is your card, will have 3 mates, right? So let's spell out the other mates, and for each letter we'll deal a card. And when we get to the next word, we'll go to the next pile, and so on and so forth. So first pile is the word the. So T-H-E. And then you've got other there.
O-T-H-E-R.
And then you've got mates.
M-A-T-E-S.
Don't think, just put the rest of the cards just on top of there. Now take out the King of Spades that you've been sitting on. You could have thought of any card, but you thought of the King of Spades, right? The other 3 mates would be the King of Hearts, the King of Spades, and the King of Diamonds. I haven't touched the deck. You did everything.
Yep.
Turn over the top card there.
What?
And the top card there. And the top card there.
It's all the bloody kings.
And that, I think, is an absolute complete. Isn't that great? Now, other routines that are in this section, there's assembly line, which is really cool assembly. Lots of photos as well, by the way. I really like that. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of photos. The photos are done just the right amount, which is what you want in a book like this. I'm going to show you one more trick from this section as well, called hide and seek. Now, I've always been a big fan of pocket interchange. I remember learning the original Gary Kurtz version years ago, which was solid, rock solid. I've got my own version of this that I do as well. But obviously, Peter Nardi's got a great gaff version of this. But this is it uses John's version of the Visa concept, which he talked about in his DVDs and then later in his first book, to achieve this very, very easily. It's not a difficult thing to do because of the construction of the routine. But as well as not being very difficult to do, the other thing that I really like about this is the hook line. I love the concept. Every time I've seen a routine like this performed, it's like, hey, I've got 4 aces and 4 jacks. I'm going to put the jacks in my pockets, watch the aces, boom, they've changed places. I love the fact that this is kind of like, hey, do you like hide and seek? Were you a fan of hide and seek when you were a kid? We're going to play a game of hide and seek right now. I just love that. And when you see the performance, we're in a kind of a very static environment here. There were very few places where Jack could hide the cards. But when you actually do this in the real world, and you've got like loads of stuff going around, there's going to be so many different creative places that people are going to think of to hide those jacks. I really like this. Let's have a look at a performance of hide and seek. I have a deck of cards, obviously, and I'm going to take out the aces and the jacks. We're only going to use 8 cards for this. So we'll take out a jack, an ace, 1 more jack, and 1 more ace. We're not going to use the rest of the cards. We're going to take the 4 jacks and the 4 aces. Okay, just 8 cards, and we'll put the rest of the cards over there. And when you were a kid, did you play hide and seek?
Oh yeah.
Were you any good? Because I was the most amazing hider in the world. Like, nobody could ever find me when I hid. Could you?
You were good at hide and seek.
I was great at hide and seek. I was no good.
Someone as loud as you.
Yeah, I was no good as a seeker, but I was great as a hider. Let me show you. We're going to see how good you are at hide and seek. We're going to take the 4 aces. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Okay, and we're going to put the 4 aces over there for a minute. We'll put them right there, and that leaves us with the 4 jacks. Now we're going to hide you and me. We're going to hide the 4 jacks. Okay, so the first one, I tell you what, put it in that card box there, just like that. Put it in the card box. Very good, wonderful stuff. And the next jack, because we don't want the aces to seek us. The aces are the seekers. The next jack, let's put it under the close-up pad. There you go. That leaves us with, I believe, 2. Leaves us with 2. Where should we put the next one? Have you got any idea?
On your top.
No. I've got an idea. Give me a hat.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll put the next one right there in the hat. Put the hat on. There's no way the aces are going to look there, let's be honest. And the last one I'm going to put in my pocket out of the way. There. Okay. So, it's the aces' jobs to try and find the jacks. And this is how they're going to do it. They're going to do it in 2 seconds. When you say go, 2 seconds later, they're going to have found the jacks.
Go.
Done.
What?
No, seriously, they've found the jacks because now the aces have indeed turned into the 4 jacks.
The fuck?
Well, that's because the jacks are there, but here's the thing. The first ace, that was the one that I put down there. You had one in your hat. You had a jack in your hat, didn't you? Take the hat off. Take it out. What you got? Oh, you got an ace. Perfect. And you put one in the card box, didn't you? Take the one out of the card box. Brilliant. There you go. That's an ace. And the last one was under the pad, wasn't it? Do you want to...
It's an
there
ace.
you go. And that is why... that's honestly why the aces are the best at finding the 4 jacks. Honestly, I don't think anybody would ever beat them at hide and seek.
Well,
there you go. Like I said, wasn't that a great hook line? Love that, love that. Tailspin twist, I'm not going to perform. It's a version of Tailspin. I actually did a video on this channel recently, the 3 best, or the 5 best twisting routines of all time, and Tailspin was in there. And this is a new version of Tailspin. I've done Tailspin for years, but this is a new version, which I'm definitely going to learn as well. My favourite essay is this one here in this chapter, which is the keys to creativity. And he's got some very interesting ideas about how to be more creative. And not surprisingly, one of them is collaboration, which I loved. Then the next section is Hands on Deck, which features 4 routines to get your audience involved in a hands-on way. Very interactive, basically. You've got the Change Maker, which is really cool. You've got Hybrid Triumph. That's a great Triumph routine. I'm going to perform this one for you. Bidless Redux. I talked about this with Lloyd on the podcast recently, and I told him about it. It sounds impossible. It's basically a way of doing the biddle trick without using biddle, and with 5 cards, and they mentally select one of them. And I'm really not kidding. And it's from a shuffled deck, anytime, anywhere. I performed a bunch of these to Jack earlier on today, and I'm rolling the performances for you now. Jack told me that this was his favourite out the ones that I performed. So take that as it will. It's, again, a shuffled deck of cards in use, anytime, anywhere. Let's have a look at Bidless Redux. Before I begin, I would like you to give these cards a shuffle, just to make sure they're all mixed up and all shuffled. Make sure it's a normal deck of cards, no wires, magnets, threads, trapdoors, secret compartments. Make sure it is what it appears to be. When you've done that, pass them me back. Did you, I saw you shuffled, which is good, but did you check to make sure that all the cards are different? You should have done.
they look different.
As long as you're happy, yeah? All of the cards are different?
I'm happy.
Good stuff. It is just a normal pack of 52 playing cards. So we're going to use 5 cards from this deck, all right? And I'm going to take 5 cards out at random. So what I'll do is I'll take a card from there, 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 and finally I'll take a card from there. So 5 different cards. I'm going to kind of spread them out a bit here, so hopefully you can see them, put them into a little fan. Can you see those 5 cards?
Yeah.
I don't know what they are because you shuffled and I just took them out at random, but I want you to think of one of those cards. To make it easier to focus on that card, maybe go for the highest card there, but it's up to you. Have you got it?
Yeah.
Excellent. It's really important that you remember those cards, because later on when I dramatically say, this is your card, if you go, I don't know, it kind of loses its impact slightly. So really important you remember the card, okay? With the rest of the cards here. So the only important thing that we need right now are these 5 cards. And I'm going to start off by telling you what your card is. And I'm going to do that by dealing the card out and putting it invisibly right there. See, that's your invisible card. Right there. Now, if I peek at it, I can tell you it's a red card, right?
It is a red card.
If I peek at it again, I can tell you, is it a heart?
It is a heart.
Yeah, if I turn it over, you can see it right there. It's very, very clear. It's the King of Hearts. Is that the card, King of Hearts? Yeah, because there it is, invisible. It's face up there. It's not like I read your mind. I just took the card out, made it invisible, and I'm looking at it right now. I can see invisible things. No, seriously, I'm not joking. Look, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 cards left. Your card that you're thought of. Remember, you shuffled. You took any 5 cards. You thought of one of those 5 cards. It's gone. Well, I say it's gone. It hasn't. It's right there. Can you hold it for a minute for me? Don't drop it, whatever you do. I want you to turn it face up. Very good. And throw it at the pack on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see how you did, shall we? Oh, there it is, right there in the middle of the deck. One card only. The card you merely thought of, the King of Hearts.
Wow.
I know. Okay, so that was Bidderless Redux. That is really cool. And you know what? I'm gonna perform one more from this section for you as well, which is called Reign of Terror. Now, Reign of Terror, I love. So this is a version of Woody Aragon's How to Find Your Other Half, which he published in his second book, I believe. And so many people were using this during lockdown and virtual shows because people could follow along at home and just have 3 playing cards and you're good to go. What John has done here, he's really improved it. I didn't think you can improve this trick, but he has. And he's improved it by really giving people choices at various different parts of the procedure. So at various different parts of the procedure, you're giving people a lot of choices. And yet, even though you're giving them lots of choices, they're always going to end up how you want them to end up. And this is great for a close-up style environment. Let's say you go up to a table, there's 7 or 8 people around the table, 8 or 9 people around the table, and you say, look, I'm going to show something to everybody. Give each one of them 3 cards or 3 business cards, and you go into this, and it's great. But if you're still doing virtual shows, and I know a lot of people are, this is the best version of this that I've ever seen for a virtual performance as well. In fact, you're going to see the performance, but why don't you follow along at home? Grab yourself 3 cards, fold them in half and follow along, and you'll find that this will work for you every single time. It's very, very strong. I love the use of the deal, flip, drop procedure by Howard Adams. Anybody who's seen Cube 52 will know I'm a big fan of this move. And using it in this is a stroke of genius, to be perfectly honest. I really think so. So let's have a look at a performance of Reign of Terror. In fact, if you are watching this at home, then grab yourself 3 playing cards and follow along. Because if you follow along with me as I'm doing this, this should work for you as well. But I'm going to perform it to you, Jack. And what I want you guys to do at home is grab yourself 3 playing cards, any 3 cards. I just took some old cards from different coloured decks. It doesn't matter if the backs match or if they do match, it's not a problem. Just any 3 cards will work, and fold them in half like this. I've already done that for you, Jack. I've folded them in half to save time. You can pause the video if you want to and then catch up with it once you've got these 3 cards folded in half. Jack, give them a mix-up face down for me if you want to. And then what you're going to do is you're going to see that I creased the cards, right? What I want you to do is take the 3 of them, square them up so they're in a nice squared up packet, and then tear them as neatly as you can down the crease. It's also very important that you realise that throughout this whole process you're making all of the decisions, and there are going to be many decisions to make. Now, the first decision was how you shuffled those cards. You shuffled them into an order that nobody knows, not even you. The next decision is now you can either put this packet on top or underneath the other packet. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. People that are at home, if they've put them in another direction, it might be a completely different outcome by now, but we're going to carry on. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to spell your name. Now, you can either spell just your surname, just your first name, just your middle name, or you can spell out your first and last name, or it's totally up to you. But for every letter, you're going to put 1 piece underneath.
Okay.
Okay? And when you're done, just tell me and stop at that point.
I'll do my middle name.
Okay, go for it. Okay, I don't even know what your middle name is, but obviously you got to a point. Everyone else that's doing this at home, it might be a completely different point. Now, the next choice is you're either going to take the top piece or the bottom piece without looking at it, and you're going to put it to one side, sit on it, put it somewhere where I can't get to it. Again, it's completely your choice. You want the top or the bottom piece, take it and put it to one side. Okay, there you go. Now, you're going to use the pads, and we push that a little bit closer. We're going to mix the rest of the pieces up a little bit more, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to deal them face down onto the table. Anytime you want to, before you get to the end, you're going to stop, and you're going to turn the rest of the pieces over and drop them on top. So just start dealing face down, and when you want to stop, just say stop. Stop. Great, turn all those over and put them on top. Square everything up. I'm going to do it again. Pick them all up exactly the way they are. Don't change anything, and just deal them onto the table, and when you want to stop, just say stop. You can go all the way to the end, you can stop at the very, very beginning, it's up to you. Stop. Turn that over, put it on top. Let's do it again. Okay, you can stop as soon as you want to. turn them over. No, the whole thing, just like before. Take all of them. There you go. Put them on top. Very good. Now, do you want to do this one more time, or do you want to leave it like that? It's totally up to you.
Let's leave it.
You want to leave it? Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. So pick up the pile. Deal one piece to the left. Deal one piece to the right. And put one underneath.
That one.
Put that next one underneath. Underneath the whole packet. No, under the packet goes underneath. There you go. That's great. Next one goes to the left. Next one goes to the right. And that leaves us with one piece right here.
Yep.
Now think about this. You made all the decisions, and if you're doing this at home, the people at home would have made the same decisions as you, and probably made different decisions, so they'll have a different outcome. They probably started with completely different cards to you, so they're probably not holding a 5 of clubs. But through all those random choices and decisions that you made, you ended up on that half card. And what's really interesting is before you made a decision of one card to remove, you spelt your name, your middle name you decided on, and then you picked one of the top or the bottom pieces. I think it was the bottom piece, and you put that one to one side. This is an incredible coincidence. Take that piece out and have a look at it.
Hey.
And it matches exactly, even though you made all the choices. But not only that, you were doing all the mixing, you stopped, you carried on, you made all the decisions all the way through. Not only did you match that card, you also matched this card, and you matched this card as well.
What?
I have a feeling that's going to be some people's favourite routine from the book. And then you've got Mysteries, a collection of routines that are rooted in a mystery. Very interesting concept. A couple of ideas from John Carey here, which is really great. I haven't performed any of these routines yet, but I plan on doing so. What I really like about a lot of these routines, by the way, is that he's not gone down the gambling theme. You know, I'm not a big fan of gambling routines, and there's a lot of people that do books of card magic, and they'll include like half of the routines are gambling routines, and he's not done that, which is really great. It's all just really strong commercial stuff. Not that gambling tricks aren't commercial, but yeah, I'm just not a big fan of them. So for me personally, I actually really like that. And then you've got chapter 7, which is using weird and wonderful props. This is a collection of effects that use fun props to add a visual interest. Your audience will be drawn in with the production of a clear solid block, a use of a chapstick to create a magic wand, and surprise colour-changing death that's anything but subliminal. Now, crystal clear is a way of using the Omni deck in a very different way to how I've seen anybody use it before. He's actually got it in use from the very beginning, and he's kind of doing a Doc Daily style routine with it, which in turn is leading to the production of the block. This is brilliant. I saw him do this on social media a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then Vanishing Ink shared it on their social media as well. It's really good. It's a great way. You know, a lot of people over here in the UK use Omnideck because it's going to guarantee to get a great reaction. This is probably one of the best uses of the Omnideck that I've seen. So if you're an Omnideck fan, this is something that you want to look at. It's very, very good. And also, you might skip past this, but have a look at, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, have a look at Sublime in All, which is the final trick of the book and is very, very good. I'll let you find out yourself what it's all about. Look, this was quite an in-depth look. A lot of people have been asking me to review more books. It takes me a while because I've got to read them thoroughly so I know what I'm talking about. I don't just want to pay it lip service, and I ideally want to learn a couple of routines out of the book that I can teach you as well. The annoying thing with this is I want to learn everything out of this book. When I said at the beginning of this review that this was the best magic book I've ever read, I'm not kidding. Ryland, who does not like card magic that much at all, cannot put this book down, as I've already learned about 3 or 4 routines from the book. It's that good. It's really, really strong, and it's fun to read as well. John has a habit of, and I saw this in his first book and I see it in this one, he has a habit in writing in a way that makes it interesting. You know, a lot of people, when they author a book, especially a book on magic tricks, which is very technical, it can be almost very boring. I've fallen asleep reading books in the past. There's certain books that I've just never managed to make my way through, because every time I try, I kind of get dozy and fall asleep. To give Vanishing Ink their credit where credit is due, their books are normally very well written in terms of they are succinct, but they get the information across, normally in a very entertaining way. John's book, Nth Degree, does that in spades. If you are looking for a fantastic book that you will constantly pick up and learn something new from every single time, this is the book for you. If you're looking for a book that's got interesting essays in it that will provoke thoughts and make you think through the reason you do magic and the reason you do whatever you do in life, then this is the book for you. If you want some really commercial card magic that is actually quite easy to do, there's nothing knuckle busting here. We're not going to need to do 15 Hermain passes followed by a double spread lift, double undercut, cull, whatever. Nothing like that. This is all relatively simple stuff to do, but the power, the thing that makes this work for a commercial point of view is the fact that they're routine brilliantly, the presentations are well thought out. John's not afraid to use gimmicks in order to achieve the best results, and what's left is a book that is super commercial, packed full of material that whether you're an amateur or a hobbyist or a professional, you're going to get so much out of it. I agree with John Bannon, because John Guastaferro is probably my favourite magician as well. This gets my highest recommendation. This gets 100%, and I'm telling you right now, it's available from Vanishing Ink. It's available from all good magic dealers. Murphy's have it. It's everywhere. You can get it directly from John as well. This is my pick for Book of the Year, and I've got my own book coming out, and I'm telling you right now, this is Book of the Year. This is one of the best books I've ever read when it comes to magic, and I highly recommend everybody pick it up. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you have the Nth Degree? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What's your favorite trick in the book? I would love to know. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video, so make sure you look out for that. I've actually got, tomorrow's Saturday, right? Tomorrow's Saturday. And it's a Talk Magic every Saturday. I have the legend himself, Mr. Jack Rhodes, on the channel this Saturday coming. He's going to be doing a full interview, fresh off the success of Britain's Got Talent, one of the most popular YouTubers in magic. He's going to be here 9 o'clock tomorrow, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on as well, so make sure that you check all of that out. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, by the way, and you've got a bit of money left after checking out the Nth Degree, go and check out the Netrix, www.thenetrix.com. Go check it out, see what all the fuss is about, but I'll be back again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.